Tim Duncan ended his 19-year NBA career back in July 2016 and left as the face of the San Antonio Spurs. You cannot think about the Spurs without thinking about Tim Duncan, and it's going to be that way for a very long time. Not only is Duncan known for being one of the best power forwards to ever play the game, but he's also known for being one of the most loyal players in NBA history, having spent all 19 of his seasons with the San Antonio Spurs. Tim Duncan is San Antonio Spurs basketball. But what about the time he almost wasn't? Welcome to Cajun Scoops. I'm Evan Samuels, and this is the time Tim Duncan almost left the Spurs. So before we get into the video, I plan on creating a little mini series with these The Time When videos. So if you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button and hit that little bell icon to the right of it so you can always be alerted when a new The Time When video is uploaded. Alright, so the year is 2000. Tim Duncan's rookie contract had just expired and he was one of the best young players in the league, having averaged 21.9 points per game, 11.9 rebounds per game, and 2.4 blocks per game during his first 3 years in the league. Restricted free agency had yet to be implemented, so Duncan was free to sign wherever he wanted, and the Orlando Magic were at the top of his list of destinations. In an article done on NBA.com back in 2010, Duncan spoke about that July summer back in 2000. In the article, Duncan would say, "I came close to leaving," and when asked how close he was to leaving, Duncan said, "Real close." Duncan wouldn't have went to Orlando alone. The Magic had just signed all-star forward Grant Hill, who through his 6 seasons in the NBA averaged 21.5 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, and 6.2 assists per game. In that same offseason, the Magic also acquired 20-year-old Tracy McGrady from the Toronto Raptors and just drafted a sharpshooter out of the University of Florida in Mike Miller with the 5th overall pick in the NBA draft. When McGrady was asked about the possibility of getting a chance to get Duncan in Orlando, he had this to say: "Once Grant and I get here, this will definitely be the city. The East is locked up. If Duncan comes here, it will be scary. It will be unfair to the league if all 3 of us come here. We have the East. We'll be playing the Lakers for years." Duncan was so intrigued by Orlando's offer that he stayed an extra 2 days after meeting with the team to hear more. Orlando got rid of several players to clear room for the superstar team they were building, including Ben Wallace, Chauncey Billups, and Corey Maggette. The Spurs front office were incredibly nervous during this time. Spurs owner Peter Holt told the Orlando Sentinel, "To say we're not down here on pins and needles would be a lie." Spurs coach Greg Popovich even said he had started to make peace with Duncan's departure. It was a nerve-wracking time. It was hell. You get close to a player and you don't want to see him leave. I never let myself believe he was going to stay. I was just getting myself prepared for sanity reasons. It's no fun. When Spurs All-Star David Robinson got word that Duncan was seriously considering leaving, Robinson reportedly left his vacation in Hawaii early to try and convince Duncan to re-sign with the Spurs. The downfall for the Orlando Magic came when Magic coach at the time, Doc Rivers, wouldn't allow Duncan or any of the players to bring their wives on the team plane. Ironically, the same glitz and glamour approach Orlando used to attract Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady actually overwhelmed Duncan and made him want a situation he was more comfortable with. Now, who would have thought that glitz and glamour didn't appeal to Tim Duncan? I mean, when I think about Tim Duncan, I definitely think about all the flashy clothes and jewelry that he wore. Duncan would obviously end up re-signing with the Spurs and went on to play 16 more seasons with the Spurs and won 4 more NBA championships with the organization and became the greatest player in Spurs history. Thank you for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications, and follow us on our Instagram and Twitter at Cajun Scoops so that you can continue to stay in the loop with Cajun Scoops. I'm Evan Samuels, and this is The Time When.